So if you're itching to get outside and entertain some food, family, nope. I'm gonna have to cut for 1 second and I have to grab oil. Hey, it's summertime and it's all about the grilling. So I'm gonna give you a few tips and tricks to keep you outdoors, having fun, and in the backyard barbecuing. So for me, these tips are gonna go for a gas grill. It'll be a little different for charcoal. You may have to look those up on your own. So let's start. What do you need? Well, besides the grill, obviously, a few tools. Some mitts, especially if you've got a lot of items on the grill and you're gonna singe off those forearm hairs, reaching over if you've got a deep grill. It's always nice to have some good either grilling gloves, especially if you're pulling off kebabs or you're really working on handling inside the grill at those high temperatures. Grills can get up to like 700 degrees, so it is hot. What else do you need? A grill brush. So you always wanna start with a clean grill. I heat mine up ahead of time. You really want a lot of time for grilling, right? So it's a process. You got to heat the grill up. You have to clean it once it's heated. I always make sure I brush the grill before I put any food on. And then there's the actual time of cooking. So you really want to give yourself ample time. And again, I'm always about asking for help. My husband, I've shamed him into being a master griller because he has ruined far too many of my dishes on the grill. His skills have really thoroughly improved. Way to go, Hubs. So start with a clean grill. Also, I, about once a year, have it professionally cleaned. Maybe at the end of the season, they'll take the briquettes out, they'll take the grill apart, and it's literally brand new. So maybe you can find someone local in your area that will do that. I've called a local hardware store. They've got people that will come out, and it's really like having a brand new grill every year. I highly recommend. All right, what else do you need? A silicone basting brush, right? So this isn't gonna catch fire like some of those natural hair brushes. It's great to brush on sauces and marinades. It's got a nice long handle, so that's helpful. You don't want one of those little tiny basting brushes and you'll just burn your arm all to shit. All right, so same thing go with the tongs. You want a nice long handled tong so that you can reach in adequately and be able to move the food without any risk of being injured. Nothing is like summertime grilling without heavy duty aluminum foil. This is like your best friend. You'll use it to tent stuff. You can even put it on like your grill pans. It's just always great to have around. Oh, it's 58 degrees outside. It's not quite summer where I am, but an instant read thermometer. It's gonna take the guesswork out of grilling and just don't cut into the meat while it's still on the grill. Really just be able to put this instant read thermometer in there. You know if your poultry's gotten up to 165 degrees, if you're in the safe zone, it's really good to have one of these handy. Last but not least, a grill pan is a nice accessory to have. It's really great for fish, more delicate items. I don't know how many of you have like grilled asparagus and lost half of the pound of asparagus down the grates, but I have. So I invested in a nice grill pan. All right, let's talk about the beast itself. A couple things to consider. Generally speaking, you'll have a temperature gauge. Like I said, mine goes up to a 750 degrees, which is really freaking hot, right? So there's a way to test. We'll see. I know mine's hot right now, so I'm a little trepidatious about sticking my hand in there. But if you're at home, there's a 5-second rule, and there's a way to test to see how hot your grill is. So 5 seconds, low heat. 4 seconds, medium heat. 3 seconds, if that's all I can stand, is like a medium high heat. 2 seconds, that's where I screwed up, is high. And if I can only stick my hand in there for 1 second, it is very hot, right? So we're talking about 2 seconds there. So it's a hot grill. I know that it is. I have 3 burners here for my grill setup. And I'm gonna get to indirect cooking, but I have 2 on the outside on and I have the one in the center off, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, what's some other things that you should know? All right, giving yourself plenty of time when you're grilling. So it's hard, it's really one where you can like implore a friend or a husband or a partner or wife. Probably not the kids because it's 700 degrees, but having someone come in and help, especially manage what's going on in the main kitchen, or bring in as much as you can outside. So if that means maybe the sides are cold salads or fresh fruits, or you can throw corn right in the husk on the grill and make a meal out of it. Let's debunk a couple myths. One, do you move food around the grill? Yes, you do. I know that I've heard kind of different things, but the whole point is avoiding flare-ups. And so if you find you're cooking a high-fat food like burgers, moving it around the grill is a good thing instead of having it like actually burst in flames, right? So that's okay. Grill, lid open or lid closed. That's another myth. Lid closed is going to be the most efficient. You can imagine it's like a little oven in there, and you're going to get that whole indirect heat by having the entire thing working with a closed lid. I've heard that all kinds of myths, right? That burgers should be lid open, and it's totally different with a charcoal grill. So for gas, keep that sucker closed. A couple other things that's going to help you grilling all year long. Trim off excess fat off meats, right? That's going to cause the flare-ups. Avoid sugary sauces like barbecue sauce with a lot of sugar, or at the very least, just put them on at the very end, because those have a tendency to burn and cause flare-ups, right? Which we don't want. What else do you need to know? Oh, okay. Thin cuts of meat, kebabs, those are going to be high heat really quick on and off the grill, the shortest amount of time possible. For some of your more delicate things like fish, fruits, vegetables, you want to consider that to be a much lower heat and a longer time. But that's going to take me right to this method of indirect grilling. All right, this is a lot of information coming at you. Indirect grilling means I'm going to have that center burner off, or if you had a 2-burner grill, you'd have one on high and one off, right? I've got a couple bone-in chicken breasts here I'll show you. This is great for large cuts of meat. This is how I do my beef tenderloin, bone-in, whole poultry, like if you did big roasts or anything like that. This is great. It is going to increase the overall cooking time, but what it's allowing is for the middle and the outside to get done at the same time without burning the exterior, right? So especially with chicken breasts that can tend to be really dry, cooking them low and slow on that indirect no heat burner is going to keep it nice and juicy. All right, Jess, how do I do that? So I've got 2 bone-in chicken breasts here that I've brined in a little beer, a little chili pepper, a little salt. I brined that for 24 hours. So, oh, one more thing. I'm gonna have to cut for 1 second, and I have to grab oil. All right, here's another tip. Oil your food and not the grill. So I'm learning to, I used to come out here with my little oiled paper towel and wipe it all over my grill, and the heat is so high, it's just gonna burn that all off, and it's not actually going to get onto the food. So starting with a nice clean grill, giving it a few beautiful brush strokes. I'm gonna throw a little oil on my chicken breast. Let's do that both sides. So with indirect, I'm gonna sear the outside of whatever I'm cooking, whether it's beef tenderloin or in this case, bone-in chicken breast, on the hot side. All right, we're gonna let that go for a few minutes. I'll sear both sides, and then I'm gonna put that baby on that middle burner, the cold burner, and let it cook for about 45 minutes. So another thing that is a good tip is never to use the raw food plate. No matter what it is, go in, give it a wash, grab another plate. So you don't want to make the mistake of, you know, brining these beautiful chicken breasts, and you oil them up and you cook them, and then you put them right back on that salmonella-laden plate. And if you're like me, I have a phobia of salmonella, so avoid it at all costs. All right, so we'll sear this up a few minutes aside. We'll check on it and see how we did. All right, so if you can notice, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I got some really beautiful char, some grill marks. I'm gonna hit that second side, closing my lid. All right, highly recommend this indirect heat method if you've never tried it. I seared off both sides of my chicken. I'm gonna put it on the cold side. Like I said, it'll take about 45 minutes. So again, giving yourself plenty of time. You know, it's also kind of set it and forget it. I'll come check on it about halfway through. There's really no risk of it burning just because it's on a cold burner. I've got the 2 outside burners on high. It's gonna create my little oven effect and give me that nice, amazing, juicy bone-in chicken breast that we all love. So if I wanna add on a barbecue sauce, it'll be right at the very last minute. The chicken's totally done. It hit that 165. We're good to go. And then I might baste it with a little barbecue sauce, especially if it has brown sugar, maple syrup, you're at high risk of flare-ups. One last tip, keep away anything from this beast that's flammable, right? That goes without saying. Practice safe grilling, have a wonderful summer. I will hopefully have tons of great summertime grilling recipes to shoot your way. Have some fun.